I feel that I only scratched the batty-hole of it in terms of what can be seen and done there. And it's probably a place where if I had 20 grand on my laptop, I could get a long enough visa, I'd do 3-6 months out there and just travel around.
That's easy, dude. That's absolutely easy to do.
Nigel, question really quickly. Sorry, because I'm obsessed with Bali. I always wanted to go. But one thing I never really looked on a map, is it a big place or is it quite a small place?
It's Indonesia, Giza.
I know it's Indonesia, but it's an island.
In terms of as an island, yeah, I mean, what it is, it's very busy. Obviously, you guys have been Thailand and places like that, so obviously there's them scooters everywhere. When you go into the main cities, it's like, Jesus Christ, what's going on? Where we were probably just below halfway down, maybe a little bit more, but there was a lot of people in the place. In terms of big, well, people go there and travel, don't they? So when they're doing their backpacking and that, Bali's one of the places they go and lose 3, 6, 9, 12.
No, Australians there as well.
Yeah. Well, for Australians, Bali's like their Benidorm to the English.
Yeah.
So they go there. They don't respect Bali the same way we don't really respect Benidorm, because like full of Aussies, full of English. So they treat it with a certain disdain. Some of them do, but yeah, man, I like it. The people, I think, in terms of going around the world and being treated nice and feeling like, not about the money, just about the human. Those people there, man, seriously, if you didn't give them any tips, they'd still love you. Just talking to you, they when you're talking to them, man, they almost look at you like they're honoured. Oh, yes, sir. And it just felt, to be fair, it felt nice to be a man of colour in that country. Even though I've never had any problems anywhere else, it was almost like, it just felt good to be there. You know what I mean? Yeah. Good food.
What about this, Alstallio? This is warming my cockles, man. This feels nice listening to this, man.
It was yeah, it was just nice. The people, man. The people are dread. You know what I mean? For once, there's none of his hand out. You go like Jamaica and I was like, yo, man, well, look at that, man, look at. You go certain countries like their hands out. There, man, their hands was in their pockets. They wanted to serve, and then if they were privileged enough for you to say, well, hang on to this, that, you know, it wasn't like an assumption. It was like oh, thank you. You know what I mean? So, man, in fact, we ended up giving away so much money on our last 2 days because we had loads of money left over. I thought, rather than bring it back, I have this tip. I was giving people tips, man, which was like a week's wages and stuff. They're like, oh, Mr. Nigel, you come back next year. I was like, yeah, man, cool.
Hey, I'm going there, man.
Bali, I think they're very funny about trying to settle there as a foreign national. You have got to give money to a Balinese for him to buy land for you. And if you do go there, you get a short visa, but you got to get out of the country because they will literally lock you up.
Really?
If you outstay your yeah. You got to go. You can go to the country for 1 day and then come back. But you got to, if that visa runs out, you got to come out because they'll have you and they'll lock you up and say, yo, come on.
I don't want to spend prison time there, man.
The second place, again, for the same reason, Cuba. Again, Cuba. Just scratch the arse cheek of Cuba. We stayed in a place called Cayo Coco. Beautiful. It's almost like a purpose-built part of. It's like the tourist part that they've built for Cuba. So it's actually on the other side of the island. Now we were going to go to Havana, but I wasn't going to put my wife through a 10-hour road trip. I just thought it's just not fair. She's come for sun. She ain't doing no road trip. But my friend did go with his wife, and he said it was absolutely amazing. So I'd like to go back to Cuba again. Will I live there? No, I'll do 6 months though with my laptop. And then the other place I want to go to is New Zealand.
Oh my god! Typical
place.
It's a beautiful place, but so typical.
Why is that typical?
Yeah, because everyone look. You got Australia, huge country. In it.
I didn't say Australia.
Yeah, but you got Australia. You got right next to Australia is New Zealand, and everyone sees.
It's not even next. You know how much distance is between the two countries?
Yeah, wow. I mean, that would be the logical next step if you was in Australia.
Well, no, the thing for me for New Zealand, and it purely is down to Lord of the Rings. I want to see some of those vistas. I want to see some of them vistas, man. Some of them landscapes. I'd love to go and just go up into the mountains and look down and say, yeah. But I know you can get the same in Canada.
You got Ireland, man.
America. You got the same.
Ireland's the same.
But it's a whole different part of the world thing. Ireland, for me, going to Ireland is almost like being in England.
No, and certain flowers, and I know it sounds mad, but certain flowers and certain things you're only going to see in the mountains of New Zealand and stuff. And to be honest, like you can say about Scotland or Ireland or this, but the truth is like just some of the mad outdoor things you can do in New Zealand, and it's just exceptional, man. Like it's just literally exceptional. And I kind of get what Alstallio is saying when he's going, yeah, maybe Australia as well. Obviously, Australia's huge; it's next door. Australia,
I ain't bothered about Australia.
I actually am. I do want to go to Australia, but I'll tell you the thing is, like Australia's kind of like one of them ones where it's like
it's all racist over there.
The internet came out. And there's too much where, you know why you're going to New Zealand. You're going to see this breathtaking scenery and maybe do some outdoorsy stuff. It's going to be like if you went to maybe Cumbria or you went to Scotland or something. You're probably going to do similar things. Whereas in Australia, what you're going to do, you're going to go to see Uluru, you're going to go to Alice Springs, you're going to go stay in Sydney, you're going to go to the north of the country, you're going to go to Melbourne, you're going to Auckland, not Auckland, that's New Zealand, but all these places, is that what you're going to do? Whereas in New Zealand, you might go into to Auckland or Wellington or somewhere like that, but you're most likely going to be going to these really beautiful, scenic, majestic,
and be on your own, man,
stunning landscapes that you won't see like that. Like next year, I'm going to Romania with a driver at my company on this Trans-Gregarian highway. The one that was on Top Gear, and that this mad road that is like in the middle of the mountains, and it's like one of the best driving roads in the world. Well, we're going there in the 3 months in the summer that it's open, and it's for that amazing scenery. Like where when you're there, you'd almost have to slap yourself to tell yourself that you're actually there. It's that much of like
once in a lifetime. Once in a lifetime view for your eyes, isn't it? Because you can go on the internet, you can type anything in, you can see whatever you want to see, but there's nothing beats being there and seeing it with these two people and saying, sort of, I've seen that, I've felt that air, I stepped out my van and stood on the highway and looked down that mountain valley, man, and I saw the world, I saw life, I saw nature. So we can get that anywhere really, but I think in terms of like, if I was going to choose somewhere, I could have said Hawaii, Toga. I'd like to go to Toga. I don't know why, I just would. But these are places which are far. They're like, it's like my wife loves Dubai. I think Dubai is tacky. You know what I mean? But she loves it. Well, I think it's just full of.
I wouldn't like Dubai, but I wouldn't like
Playboys.
I wouldn't like Las Vegas either.
Nah, I don't. Them places don't appeal to me. It's like, well, if I'm going to go, I'd rather go Blackpool and go and waste some money in an arcade or something. You know what I mean? It's like. Yeah, my wife likes Dubai. I think she just likes the splendor of it. But I think they're posers, man. I just think they're all posers, man. But what I will say about Dubai, which I did like when I went out there, is that my brothers seem equal out there. So when I'm going around and that, I'm seeing people of colour, man, and they've got status. They seem to be doing what they need to do, and no one's going, they're getting on, man. So for me, it's like I did like that, even though a lot of expats go there as well. But I like the colour. I said a lot of colour there. I was like, because for me, Dubai, I thought it was going to be one like a glorified Spain. I'm alive, the lights, and all that. But the reality is, obviously, they can't do that upon road because they'll get locked up and whipped. And it's there's a lot of colour there, man. So I did like that.
Yeah, I like them areas in the Middle East because you think when you look at the TV, they're showing these light-skinned people. When you go there, you're like, wait there,
pure black is
darker than me.
There's a lot of black people in these places, man. A lot of dark people, a lot of Arabs. But it's like everything else that we were talking just the other week when we were talking about skin bleaching and that appeal to be white, because that exists in Arab countries just as much as it does anywhere else. You know what I mean? It may be more to do with makeup in the Arab countries. It could be skin bleaching, but there's a lot of people. There's still this glorification of the lighter. The lighter is better. Still, that I think is worldwide. I think it transcends worldwide. But like I'm like you, Nigel. I wouldn't give a two hoots about Dubai. I'd probably be taken back by, like I say, the splendor of the place or something. But after that that's like a shiny. When a new coin comes out, you're like, wow, look how shiny my coin is, man. Look how nice this is. And then 2 weeks later, it's tatty in your pocket, and you don't even.
Once you've seen a 7-star hotel that they've told you how much it costs per night, and you think only fools would pay that, it loses all this sort of stuff. My cousin Jermaine, Heartless, they go out there twice a year and play gigs out there and that. But you know what I mean? I think for me, the image they give is it's two countries in one. So you've got the part you don't see, which is where all the real Emirates people live, where there ain't all this splendor and this, that, and the other. And then you've got you know, Dubai, the flashy city with all the investment from the Western world and hotels and money and private yachts and this, that, and the other. To me, it's like Monaco, isn't it? France, and then you go to one part of France and everyone's broke pockets. So it's all false, man.
We've seen this like you'd never believe in Brazil. I don't know if
mate, Brazil's a corrupt place,
it
mate.
was in Sao Paulo, bro. Listen to this, yo. Me and when we were in Sao Paulo, I'm sure it was in Sao Paulo, and we just got walking down this road, and then it became really like it was gated in it, but there was like a homeless guy on the street. Literally just before, like, it's like you get to not even a junction, bro. It was like, well, it was, but you don't even have to cross the road. It was like Brook Street, Bel Air. That's what it was like, yeah. And then just as we was looking at this homeless guy who was literally on the street, you had a guy's helicopter landing onto his pad, onto his yard and everything like that, and his people like them, you know what I mean, walking with him as he's getting like, do you remember this guy, Wayne? And he's literally had his helicopter come down, and I was like, what? And then we're looking at all these gated houses and people there, the armed guards out there with their guns and everything. I was thinking, wow, like just the contrast was on the same street.
Yeah, it's horrible to see, man. And
yeah, it is.
You know, I know you can't solve all the world's ills, but that's just, to me, it's like, yeah, you know what I mean.
Actually,
everyone should have enough. But anyway, it's another story. So come, Wayne, what's your three?
Saying that, just quickly honorable mention for Brazil. I'm not actually going to put Brazil in my list now because I was going to, but I thought, I've been to Brazil, I've done Brazil, and it's a place I want to live. Everyone knows me, knows I'm going to Brazil at some point. I'm not going to put Brazil in my list. I'm going to change it. We did meet a guy though in Brazil who's actually, we're still in contact with him. He's a good friend of ours. He's becoming a good friend of ours. He's like pretty much minted. He's got his driver and everything, man. He lives in Sao Paulo, man. Like his house is behind like gates and that, and you go in there. It's like a flat. He's got his maid and everything. I'm like, what are you in, man? What are you doing? He's obviously a lawyer for the Chinese, is it the embassy of China? He's a lawyer for the Chinese embassy, man. And he's making it. He's minted. Trust me. Every time he's always flying back and forth. I always see him in Germany at the top. Stops in like the Blackhead hotel. It's like a 5-star hotel in Frankfurt, man. He stops in there every time he comes. I'm like, yo, you are minted.
Does he call you though and say, come now, let's have a few?
He always calls me and tells us to come get some, like, come for dinner and stuff. Like Frankfurt's so far away, man, and I gotta work a lot. So.
What? It's a train, man.
Yeah, no, but for food.
Ain't just gonna give you food, man. It's gonna be like, right, what do you want to do now?
You don't know about schmoozing, Nigel. You don't know about schmoozing.
Hey, let's fly to England, brother. Yeah, man, I'll hire a jet. Yeah, man, let's do it, mate. Come on, man.
All right, I ain't doing that for Yorkshire pudding.
So, yeah, I really fancy a boat, you know. What's one of those where you can only get them in Birmingham? Hey, let's fly there, man. Come on, hire a jet.
Yeah. All right, my three countries, I would say. First of all, in no particular order, I'm sorry, I just love Japan. I know Japan is, I don't know why, man. I don't even know why, but like you said, it's the same with what you said about Bali. The respect they have for humans is like, oh my God. Like the one woman who was bowing to me, and I was like, okay, you can stand up now. And I was looking, and she wouldn't move, and I was like, you know, I'm black, right? You know, no one stands for us, man. We're the enemies of the world, man. You don't have to bow. You can bow to everybody else, the white folks, and you don't bow to. I was like, whoa, but she bowed, man. And everyone was like really respectful. I was like, yo, so Japan is like, there's something about Japan.
They said a hold up, bro. They said a hold up. You know
how are you going to take your money? Look, keep the money in your pocket. Yeah. She was, I mean, Japan is such a nice country. I don't even know why, man. But once you go to Japan, when you leave, you take a piece with you, or at least you stay in Japan, and that's it. So Japan's a place I love. Hawaii, we all got something for the Pacifics in it. Hawaii, I'm sorry, man. If you want to go, the first place I ever felt warm seawater was in Hawaii. I was like, wait a minute. Okay, I went in. The first thing I was like, it's warm. It's what the water's warm. And I'm jumping in.
Greece, bro. You'll feel it in Greece the same way.
But this is Jamaica, man.
Well, this was because they got volcanic, they got thermal.
Oh, yes.
The whole volcano. Yeah, so like it's proper water. It's like 30, it must be like 35 degrees or something heat in water. I was like, yo, I was chilling. And obviously it's hot there anyway. So Hawaii, the food is great. It's just such a nice place. And you can drive around. I was in Waikiki. So you can drive around the island, but there's 5 islands, obviously, where you can keep going.
When did you go there?
I mean, it was 2008 or 2009.
I remember when you was there, man.
And the last place.
Miami just before, innit?
What's that?
You went to Miami just before, didn't you? Then went to
No,
Hawaii.
not Miami. I was in California. I was in San Francisco. I did Los Angeles, San Francisco, and Hawaii. I did them together over 2.5 weeks. But the year before, I was in Los Angeles. I stayed there for a month, man. I went to Los Angeles.
Where was I? What was
You
I
doing? Dude, I invited you, and you was like,
"Oh, here we go."
Yeah.
Don't even remind me of that guy.
That is exactly what you said. I said, dude, I'm going to California. I said,
he's gone.
And you was like, oh yeah, I want to come, man, California. I was like, you ain't coming, man. You got a girl. He was like, nah, but it's California. You know, I was like, you ain't coming. No, also,
man.
I was on the plane, looked to the
What
left
are you
and
doing
right.
in California for a month, man, or LA or whatever?
Well, I went to meet. I went to this music conference, Taxi Music, shameless plug. And then I ended up just like staying there. I met a guy there, and he was like, "Yeah, man, come and hang with me." So we went there and went to this proper ghetto party, man, because he was trying to get some drugs and that. and then, like, obviously, the geezer went into
Los Angeles, you're getting drugs. You don't even smoke.
I saw no, he was going for drugs, and I was driving this car.
And it's like taking you and you're drinking milk in this side or something.
Yo, and when we went into this house, yeah, it was like one of these proper, you know, like in Menace to Society or like one of these films.
Yeah.
Like it was all black and that. And the geezer was like, yo, you police. I was like, I ain't police, man. So yo, show me your passport. And I had to show him my passport. And he patted me down, man. He was like, yeah, man, all right, man. Yeah, go in, man. I was like,
I'd have been on the first bloody plane home.
Yeah, I wasn't scared at all, man. I was like, yo, these are my people.
Okay, Brummy police, do you think's rocking up in LA South Central?
Yo, I was literally in South. I was in proper. These guys had afro combs in their hair and stuff, man. I was like, yo,
don't mess with a guy with an afro comb, dude.
Nah. Everyone keeps telling me to put an afro comb in my hair.
Is it Carrot Top?
No, not him, man. So yeah, I went in there and it was chilling, man. And then I went down to Santa Barbara. It was worlds apart, really. We drove to Santa Barbara after. He was out. And I spent 2 weeks at his place. And I was like visiting all the Santa Barbara. It was so nice. That's where Oprah Winfrey lives, isn't it? And he was actually friends with Oprah Winfrey. He was like, yeah, come and I'll take you to meet Oprah Winfrey, but he was out, man. So I never got to meet her, but whatever, man. Sack it. And then he was like, basically, I should stay there because I was like, I've always wanted to live here. And he was like, you can stay here with me if you want. No, but he was really nice. He wasn't like that. He wasn't fruity, but he was proper. He was
fruity. You know what? He sounds like he was lonely though.
Yeah, well, whatever it was, he was nice. He was a nice guy, man. He was a nice guy. You know, I'm gonna still in contact with him anyway, and I'm always like, I'm gonna come back over.
We can find out the real truth then about when you stayed.
Well, I just want to compliment Nigel on something. You've got very nice businessman posture there, man.
Yeah.
I'll lean back on the chair. You know.
Any problem you have?
Okay, and last place, I'm not like you guys, man. I'm not a sellout. And the last place I will go would be Madagascar. I have to go to Madagascar. This will be the place.
Why? I don't understand. Sellout. What you mean?
You guys, none of you guys said anywhere in Africa, man. You guys go to African countries, man. Yo,
I'm going to Kenya, bro. We're going to Kenya. What you on about?
The thing is, to be fair, I think with Africa, I would have went to Mozambique, Namibia, Ghana, Nigeria, Kenya. I would go to any Egypt, Ethiopia. I would go to any of them countries right now in a heartbeat. Now. In fact, they're like the countries that are in the
Zambia,
next on the
South
list.
Africa. I'll go to all of these places, man.
Yep.
And
the next one on the list.
Malawi got the happiest people in Africa.
Chimbuzi. Yeah, Madagascar's that country's just so great, and you've got like, do you know you have I think 98% of the variety of wildlife in I think it's about 98% of the
world.
Yeah, of the whole world. So when you go to Mozambique, you're going to see some ish, man. Really. So that would be my 3 places, and as soon as I get the chance, like I was trying to go to Madagascar 2 years ago, but I just couldn't find the flights, man. They're expensive, you know.
Yeah, I know, $1,000 in it always.
Yeah, they're expensive, but sometimes if you look at these aero flights, man, sometimes you can find for 500 or something.
Oh,
yeah. Anyway, Si, we'll go back to you, man. The 3 worst countries, man, you would definitely never be seen in.
Okay, and I know that you had words about this a few years ago when an opportunity came up for you to work there, man. Saudi Arabia.
I don't think it's as bad as you think, though, man.
It's not about what they stand for as a country, man. These people are carrying out executions before 9 a.m. in the morning, and they've only just recently stopped doing, executing minors.
Mm.
And the amount of things that they will kill you for could be stupid little disputes. It could be political. It could be, persistent theft. It could be so many different things. And, to chop your head off with a sword before 9 o'clock in the morning in front of onlookers and children are allowed to be there and everything like that. I just think it's really bad. The human rights fences are really bad. It's not, I've got nothing against like strict Islamic code, because I think if you live in that society and it works for you, then great. But I think once it starts to oppress and stop people from being able to live with any kind of freedom, then so yeah, for me, Saudi Arabia's right up there for me. It's just a matter of principle. I wouldn't be seen dead in the place. Not to say that I don't think there's wondrous things for other people to see there, but it's a moral thing for me.
Okay.
And that leads me on to number 2, even though it's mad because these people actually kill more people in capital punishment than Saudi Arabia do, and it's China. But there is things I would love to see about China. My problem with China is China, to me, is the living embodiment of Trump, but on the other side of the world. So it's like, what's that trademark? I mean, what's that you've got, a trademark on? Oh, Mini Cooper. Now we'll make it and call it the Minky Cookie, man. And it'll look just like the Mini Cooper and everything. You know what I mean? But now the main reason for me is that Chinese dog festival, man. It sticks in me, man. It's mad because China's so vast that for the majority of China, even though a lot of people in Southeast Asia eat dogs and stuff like that,
They're not friendly either, man. In China,
that one particular festival happens in a one particular place, and it's all about trying to torture the dogs to get a better flavor of meat. So again, for that reason, I don't really want to be seen dead in China, but there's many places I want to go, like Taiwan and Singapore, so I'm a hypocrite. So, you know what I mean? It's like I feel I cry if I see a cattle truck, you know what I mean, when I'm at the services as a truck driver, and then I go in and order a beef burger. So
I was going to say you're a vegan.
No, I'm a hypocrite. So, but
saving.
Yeah, well, you know, we that's the beauty of life, man. We get to be honest about the truth, because it is. I literally do cry if I see a cattle truck and I see all these cows looking at me on the services. But I literally
save us.
It's the weirdest thing. So they're 2 of my countries. Another country, it's not I can't stand it, but I just it's Switzerland, man. I find the Swiss